to the Mideast peace process, and for the optimists, it may be a glimmer of hope amid the carnage and turmoil of the Mideast. For the pessimists, a mission of folly that has no hope of success. Either way, Israelis and Palestinians broke bread in Washington Monday night. This is the start of reviving a long-stalled peace process, and providing neither side walks out, which is a big if, these talks are set to last for at least 9 months.
Very, very special.
Old enemies breaking bread together, a special moment in the Middle East peace process, according to the US Secretary of State John Kerry.
I really appreciate it. I know you have.
He spent months of diplomacy getting Israeli and Palestinian leaders to meet just to discuss a framework for negotiations. But he admits an actual peace agreement is still a long way off.
It's no secret that this is a difficult process. If it were easy, it would have happened a long time ago. It's no secret, therefore, that many difficult choices lie ahead for the negotiators and for the leaders as we seek reasonable compromises on tough, complicated, emotional and symbolic issues.
The big divisions remain. Both sides lay claim to Jerusalem. Setting the borders of a Palestinian state will be contentious, and Israel is fearful that such a state will become a haven for its enemies. But leaders gathering in Washington say they still have to try.
We live in a tough neighborhood. To be optimistic is something that we cannot afford. But there is some hope. And I hope that when in Israel they would see the first meeting, they would understand that we shouldn't give up hope, and it is reachable, and we need to do it because it is an Israeli interest.
Martin Indyk has been chosen as the special envoy for Israeli-Palestinian negotiations. He's a former US ambassador to Israel, a member of the Israel lobby group, AIPAC, and a founding director of the Washington Institute for Near East Policy. Most recently, he's been the head of foreign policy at US research center, the Brookings Institution.
It is a daunting and humbling challenge, but one that I cannot desist from. I look forward with great excitement to working with you, President Abbas and Prime Minister Netanyahu and their teams, to do our best to achieve President Obama's vision of two states living side by side in peace and security.
President Sadat and Prime Minister Begin.
But there are seemingly insurmountable differences, ones that have led to many failed attempts before. The Palestinian Authority wants a state with borders based on a 1967 agreement. That would give them the West Bank, the Gaza Strip, and most controversially for Israel, East Jerusalem. That's not going to happen, says Israel. Prime Minister Netanyahu made that very clear in the Oval Office with President Obama 2 years ago.
It cannot go back to the 1967 lines, because these lines are indefensible.
I really appreciate that.
But yet, here they are, preparing for talks. And Kerry says there's only a limited window of opportunity left for an independent Palestinian state. On Tuesday, he's expected to announce what, if anything, comes next.